Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Grimm here, and today I'm going to be taking you on a journey on learning how the gathering professions can make you a whole lot of gil. So, last time we put everything together. We did it all. We bought stuff from the Beast Tribe vendors, we did a little bit of gathering, we did a little bit of this and that, and so today, before we start with the gathering, so that I can show you how much you can potentially make from that, we're going to go check and see how much money we've made from all that together. So, let's go ahead and check our retainers. Well, we filled up both of the retainers, and it's been a few days. Today is the 13th, and we've been selling since, I think, about the 9th. So, it looks like, yeah, we sold a good deal of stuff. About 61,000 worth. That's not bad at all. So, just from that, we're almost at 100,000. Just from the one retainer. And then this one only has one item left on her inventory. So let's see. Oh yeah, all of our metal sold. Wow, yeah, we sold a whole lot. Okay, so going from December 8th. Oh yeah, we made bank. 100,000 worth. So we've got almost 200,000 gil right now. Now you need 300,000 gil to buy a flat from your FC, free company, if you're in one, to buy a private room. And you need 500,000 to buy yourself an apartment. So we're well on our way to making a very decent bit of money. And I think today we're going to be doing some gathering as well. Now, for my gathering professions, I've got mining, my sick mining threads, and we've also got botanist. And you don't have to be too high of a level to make some gil from gathering. Like I said, a lot of people just buy stuff fresh off the marketplace and not even bother going through the vendors, and I proved that. I sold off all of the things that I bought from the material supplier, all the really low-level stuff, and that all sold. So people will buy low-level items straight off the market board, even if they can buy it from the vendor at a lower price. So you do not have to be a super high-level, super specialized kind of gathering or crafting profession. Crafting is going to be the next video, by the way. And before I go into the gathering as well, let me show you something. Now remember, in the last video, I talked a little bit about crashing the market and what that might look like. Well, I used some Materia 6 to give you an example of what that might look like. Now the Gatherer's Gyrodon, that was selling for about 95,000, and then people started dropping it by 10,000, then 10,000 again. And now it's sitting pretty low, but that's not the worst. Craftsman's Competence. This stuff usually sells for like 98,000 a piece. It's at 58,000 right now. So normally it's sitting around in this range, between 100,000 and 95,000. And because they announced some new content is coming out pretty soon, they started dropping the price. Now this isn't too out of the ordinary. But then they start dropping it by a few thousand, then they drop it by another few thousand, then they drop it by 10,000, and by the time you get to now, it's sitting at almost half of what it was worth. The Craftsman Cunning, yeah, that's doing okay. The Craftsman's Command, again, it's usually sitting between 100,000 and 95,000. But then they start dropping it by a few thousand here and there to try and make some money, and then they drop it by 10,000. And yeah, it's bad. So when you see the market starting to crash like that, hold on to what you're selling. Don't try to match the current price. Just sit on it, wait for the market to settle, and then once it's settled, then you start putting it up for sale. So, without further ado, let me go out there and start doing some gathering. Alright folks, so I managed to gather up a whole bunch of good stuff. We got ourselves some walnut logs, some gray pigment, effervescent water, silver ore, cobalt ore. Found myself a map, which that is going to come in handy later. Some oak and some flax. Now let's go ahead and throw this stuff up on the market. We're going to get ourselves a decent bit of gil. Now let's start off with the high quality walnut. Price ain't that high, but it's doing a pretty large stack right now. Let's see. Yeah, 800, 600. Some of it is selling for really low, but I think that's mostly people who don't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and put up for 500. And let me double check and see the stacks that they were selling for. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm going to keep the stack at about 18. Actually, no. I'm going to split that into stacks of 9. Because you need 3 of those logs to make a plank. So people are going to jump on that. Regular walnut logs. Yeah, that's not too bad of a price, but we're going to split that into stacks of 33 and sell it for 350. The walnut log, rather. Okay, so the oak logs. Yeah, those are going for pretty decent, actually, so I can do 500 and stacks of 15. Now, the gray pigment, that usually sells really well. Yeah, people buy it for a decent amount and for pretty decent sized stacks, so let's do... Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to stick with 250. Split it into 2 stacks. Yeah. There we go. Now, effervescent water. This stuff usually sells pretty well. And is going for a decent price. So I could easily get away with selling it for, oh, let's do 350. Let's do 1 stack of 15. One stack of 20. Let's check the high quality. So there's 1 stack of high quality selling for 600. The one up here, that's going to get snatched up pretty quick. But the rest of them sell for about 1,000. I think I'm going to go with 500. Silver ore. Yeah. 500, 200. I think I'm going to stay kind of on the low side and stick it for 200. I'm going to do stacks of 10. Okay, and that's one retainer filled up. Now let's move on to retainer number 2. High quality silver ore, how much can I get for that? 400, 500. I think I'm going to do 450. And that should sell relatively quickly. Alright, flex. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that sells for a pretty decent amount. People are buying larger stacks. But I think this one here was put up very recently, so let's see. I think... well, yeah. 500, I'm going to sell that whole stack. Because with this, people have to buy large amounts. Because you need, I think it's 2 or 3 flax to make each linen thread. And then I think it's 2 to 4 linen thread to make a piece of linen cloth. So people will buy a large amount of flax. So that's not going to be too much of a problem. The high quality, between 550 and 600, I'm going to keep it at 550. High quality oak log. Oh yeah, that sells for a decent amount. So I'm going to sell it for 1,250. Now cobalt. You can't buy this stuff from a vendor, so the price is usually staying pretty high. And it's usually between 400, 350, somewhere around there. So I think I'm going to stick with 400. I'm going to do stacks of 10. There we go. The high quality... let's check the history. And between 400 or 500. That's going to get sold right away, so I think I'm going to stick with 500. There we go. Alright, and it's as easy as that. It can be a little bit more time consuming than just running around and getting the vendor items. However, this has a better chance to pay off because you can gather a lot at once, put it all up on the marketplace, and if it's an active server, if people are actively doing a lot of crafting and leveling their crafting, then you're going to sell all of that fairly quickly. So, in the next video, I'm going to be doing some crafting myself, and I'll show you how to make some gil from that. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.